is going to be totally ignored by you. So that's how the first brain works. And this is why your body speaks at the speed of sight. What we're going to do today is look at how to be first brain friendly. I'm going to give you some tips. And again, they're all in the book if you want some more details on these. And then we're going to talk about certain things that will help your message. So long as they're first brain friendly, they will resonate and reinforce your message. Gesticulation, relocation, and depiction. And after we go through this, we will have a time for Q&A. And with that, I encourage you to put any questions you're thinking of right now, put them into the chat. Ashvin, for a reasonable fee, has agreed to monitor the chat, and he'll guide us through the Q&A portion after we go through the presentation. So please capture those questions and those comments right away. And we're off and running with being first brain friendly. And this is the danger of you attending this presentation tonight. I apologize in advance because this is a huge burden. For the rest of your life, 24 hours a day, even while you're sleeping, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 or 66 days a year, you need to smile. The first brain is placated by your smile, and smiles are so obvious. And again, this all happens at the subconscious level. You don't think, oh, that person's not smiling, I'm not going to listen to her. No, your first brain just says, oh, a smile. Okay, I kind of like this. So you have to smile. Now, you're always smiling. You can do a little smirk or show the top teeth or all your teeth. But the atomic bomb of smiling is just to open your mouth and smile. And you do that, you will find people are friendly to you. Walk around a store and see people who are grumpy. Smile at them and they'll smile back because a smile is so powerful. If you want to be first brain friendly, and that basically that means if you ever want to communicate successfully, you have to be first brain friendly, smile. And on top of smiling, the next big thing to do is eye contact. Eye contact engages the first brain and makes it feel that it's focused and you're connected to it. So you want to be first brain friendly, you have to do eye contact. Now there's a danger here. Your eye contact needs to be of a reasonable duration. Before reading this book or hearing about Bert Decker, I would always look at people's noses or their teeth. Now, I still to this day struggle with eye contact. On Zoom, it's easy. I just look at the little green light for the camera. But person to person, I often go into old habits and look at somebody's nose. Get past that habit, but when you do, don't get overly impositional. And that means that if you go past 10 seconds of eye contact, you're going to make that person uncomfortable. It is too intimate. So think between 5 and 10 seconds. And with an audience, when you're in person, you can look at one group for 5 to 10 seconds, and then look at another group for 5 to 10 seconds, then another group. And that's a great way to engage eye contact with your audience. One other thing, in Hollywood, actors are trained to look at one eye when they're going for eye contact, and that is a big help as well. So stretch your eye contact. Maybe you're at 2 seconds now, like me. Okay, and make it longer, 5 to 10 seconds. Your clothes are a choice and they impact the first brain, and different groups of people, different environments, different cities, towns, nations, they all have different clothing styles. Your first brain is going to analyze your clothing in contrast with clothing it is used to. So you try to be as first brain friendly as possible. I'm not sure what you were wearing today, and my general idea is to try and level up from what my audience might be wearing. So I wore a tie today. Thankfully, you can't see below my waist where I got my Scooby-Doo PJs and my pink fluffy banana slippers on. But I'm hoping that the tie communicates some respect as well as being first brain friendly. So choose your clothes to succeed. And then it comes to grooming. Grooming is very important. Again, different groups of people have different standards of grooming, and you want to make sure that you're communicating to the first brain that you're respectful of the group's grooming standard. Like today, not only did I shave for you, I also got my ear hair trimmer and my nose trimmer. Ashvin, how did I do? Okay. He refuses to comment. So those are important things because they irritate the first brain without even people saying, oh, I'm not going to listen to him or her because of those ear hairs popping out. No, it's subconscious, and you want to be friendly so you don't trip up there. Posture is also very important, and the first brain picks up on it instantly as soon as it sees you come into a room or enter onto a stage. How do you make your posture ready for public speaking? Well, Bert Decker recommends using the technique that beauty contestants use. They go up against the wall, they suck their stomach in, they get all points of their body up against the wall. It's really uncomfortable. Then they step out and they do it a few times. So get your posture ready to speak before you speak. And then energy. And often energy is a choice. You're tired, you're exhausted, time to go speaking. You have to consciously say energy. Now, energy is also communicated through gesticulation. And gesticulation is something that impacts not only the first brain, but also the new brain. And it helps make your message clear and memorable because your body is speaking at the speed of sight. Just some rules for that. I don't like parallel gestures, but if you do it every once in a while, that's okay. But try and make sure your gestures are outside of your shoulders. Otherwise, in here, they're less impactful. Also, if you want to use symbolic gestures like this young lady, I read one book, you can do that, but don't do it. Otherwise, you're doing sign language, and that's not what you're there for. You're public speaking. I'm a big fan of emphatic gestures, and you use them to help get your message across and show your motivation for sharing it. And then when it comes to being on a stage, being in front of an audience, I would encourage you to be willing to move around, but not too much. You have to move smoothly. And Zig Ziglar is one of my favorite motivational speakers. He passed away a few years ago, but I always remember this. His technique was to envision a triangle on the stage, and the top of the triangle was back, and he would come forward and he would move a little bit to the left, then he'd walk across to the right, and then if you wanted to move back, or he could go back to the left, but it wasn't a huge area where he walked. If you're pacing back and forth, you are going to be distracting to your audience, to your message, and to the first brain. So you can do certain movements, like maybe you're running or whatever, choose it for your story that's appropriate. But as your foundation, I would use the Zig Ziglar methodology. And then finally, facial expressions. Facial expressions are extremely powerful. UCSF professor Paul Ekman studied facial expressions connected to emotional states and what they communicate to the audience. And this is going to be tough for everybody. I know it's still tough for me. Because these micro expressions that communicate emotions come so quickly but have a huge impact on the first brain, you want to make sure that your internal emotion of the story you're telling, or the idea, the enthusiasm for the idea, is there, and that you have that emotion when you speak, and it will show on your face and communicate those emotions to the first brain and re-emphasize your message. So speaking at the speed of sight, very important. I would also recommend Malcolm Gladwell's book, Blink, to delve into this further. But Paul Ekman from UCSF, brilliant guy, and Pixar uses his facial expressions work in their animations. So to summarize, man, to be first brain friendly, do it, smiling for the rest of your life. I'm sorry, make eye contact, clothing, grooming, posture, and energy, and just be conscious of that people are subconsciously reacting to how you impact their first brain. gesture well, practice that, be yourself, however you use gestures. If God help you use parallel gestures, fine. If that's your style, great. But work with that and get feedback in your Toastmasters clubs. Move along the stage smoothly and use that to help engage with the audience, be first brain friendly, and also emphasize your message. And really, really important, know those emotions that you need to be feeling, remember them, and use them when you're communicating your message so your face matches those emotional questions. All right, it's time for Q&A. Ashvin, do we have any questioners on our board here?
They're coming in. If you could, participants, give Brendan some questions. They're typing in there, Brendan.
I get Natasha raised her hand. Natasha, what do you got?
Yeah, hi, this is Toastmaster Rao Sahib, and as you mentioned, spatial expressions are very crucial. So, would you like to give any tip which help me to show the facial expressions?
Yes. So what actors do is they journal and they remember stories when they were sad, happy, mad. And not only that, those stories, if you can touch with them, they're great for table topics, by the way. But you remember that. And so let's say, you want to talk about something and you're saying, I want to make sure I'm happy now. And you remember a time when you were 3 and you got this huge chocolate cake to yourself and you impulsively dived into it. And before you got punished, it was the happiest food of your life, right? So remember that moment and say, I want to remember that. And in doing so, you've internally set your emotions to happy at that point. And then maybe a couple of minutes later in the same speech, you have to be sad and you remember a sad event from your life at some time. So get in touch with those moments, those stories in your life when you felt those kind of emotions strongly. Good question. Thank you.
Brendan, I have a question.
Sure.
Myself. So when you're speaking, right? I mean, your hand, we don't want them all over the place, right? Or below our waist or anything, but it kind of coincides or syncs with what we're talking about, right? Or how do you, should you do it enough, or how do you enough that, hey, they're getting what we're saying too, it's like, what am I speaking? Are you with me kind of thing?
Yeah, this is the kind of feedback that comes because it's a combination of your personal style, right? Did your family gesticulate or did they just stand there like this? And I'll tell you, one of the funniest speakers I ever heard from my very first club back in the 90s, I still remember her. She would stand outside of the lectern and she would stand there with her arms down and she would speak with her head. And that was her gesture. And she was hilarious as heck. It worked for her. One of the key things and the advantage of doing Toastmasters week after week is you get to practice and you get a sense, does this work for the audience? You're going to get feedback from your club and they'll help you to refine how you use gestures. Good stuff.
I've got a question.
Sure.
Hi there, thanks for that, Brendan. So my question is regarding expressions. When I'm speaking and I'm thinking, I tend to not look directly. I tend to look to the right-hand corner, and that's my sort of thinking, sort of brain expressing myself. How does that present? And is that okay or not?
Yeah, I'm going to ask Ashvin to send you into the room of requirement to be punished for doing that. No, it's definitely, this is something that you're going to have to train yourself out of, because eye contact, and again, this is for one-to-many as well, especially one-to-one contact with you're thinking, oh, what am I going to say to this individual? And they're going to go, oh, what's going on? Because you've disengaged from that first brain. And again, that listener doesn't think, oh, she's broken eye contact. No, the first brain is saying, oh, I can't trust this person. And that's why you have to do it. And so, as I say, it takes me practice when somebody's before me to focus on them. And occasionally they're telling a long, boring story. And I go, oh, God, and I forget to do the eye contact. So it takes process, the eye contact, the smiling, those two things you got to do, really got to do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. Oh, Maya raised her hand. Maya?
Yes, thank you. I have a question regarding the posture. Okay, when you do the speaking or any communication in virtual meetings, so what do you need to take care of it, especially when you sit and do the presentation or any speech?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So again, the straightest back as possible. The idea of, that picture of those little kids in their swimming gear, the one kid that was sitting like this, that's the posture that's immediately identifiable. You look at that picture, everybody's focused on that one kid of 6, right? Because that posture is so first brain friendly. It's communicating to the first brain that, hey, I want to engage with you and, be connected with you. So as much as you can, if you're sitting in a chair, then don't lean back, don't even use the back of the chair. Standing up, if you can get a chance to warm up right before your speech, great. You go up against the wall. This is what Bert Decker mentions. And you go in and you put your buns against the wall, your feet against the wall, and then you suck your belly in. You got your shoulders there, you got your nerve like this, and then you step out. And that will get your posture ready to go if that's the case. So, ooh.
Thank you, Maya.
Thank you.
And thank you for letting us know that Brendan is wearing pants. Now we know.
Dang it. Dang it.
I know.
Oh,
Come on. Come on. Let's go.
Dang it.
Let's go.
Oh my
All
gosh.
right. Oh, look, we have a question for you. God, I'm
Okay.
getting rich. I'm kidding.
Hi, Brendan. Good morning. Good evening.
Hey.
I have a question about when we are communicating one-on-one, mostly with stakeholders or customers. So many a times, of course, here also the body language plays an important role for us to communicate. So wanted to have some kind of tips from you regarding body language and eye contact in this.
Yeah. Definitely. And so again, let's say you're in one-on-one with somebody and you want to sell them. Definitely want that eye contact, which connects again with the first brain. And you do it for about 5 seconds. And when you start getting more comfortable, maybe you go to 7 seconds, but don't go past 10 seconds because they're thinking you're a little too friendly, a little too intimate. But that one-on-one exchange with eye contact and smiling, you don't have to smile throughout the entire presentation, especially if you're discussing some serious numbers, but you want to start with a smile and smile as much as you can throughout the presentation. You got the posture all going as well. And so your gestures, you're sitting at a desk, still go outside your shoulder and say, this is great, or here's the one reason you should buy, or here's the 3 things you're going to get with that. And those type of things just reinforce your message without going crazy. Like me going all over the place. So yeah, do it. The key is to do you, right? To make sure that it's who you are and it doesn't interact or make you look phony. And again, I can't recommend enough that Toastmasters has trainings like this, but more importantly, they have that week in and week out practice where you get that feedback and say, oh man, what were you doing with all those crazy arms? And that's where you learn.
Thank you, Brendan. Thank you so much. Well, I think we are on to our next speaker. And if there's any other questions, please put them in the chat. And Brendan, if you could stay for like a couple of minutes to answer those.
One last question for Brendan.
One last question.
Do you think Toastmasters overdo the body language or the gestures?
Yeah. I have to say, this book is no longer around, but was what I would grow up on called the Communication Basic Competent Communicator program, and they dedicate a whole chapter to body language, and that's how we would evaluate there. And it's in our Pathways program. It's just not a distinct chapter. So it's all part of saying, how did that person use not just words, but body language and gestures, and what you're going to hear from Cynthia in a little bit. Those things all go together in getting your message across past the first brain and then to the new brain, where the message and the gestures need to correspond. And so I just want to end up and say I'll be around for the Slack channel. Appreciate being here. Appreciate everybody who stepped up to Speechcraft when you could just be out having fun. And my thing is, use this knowledge to connect, because making that communication connection is so powerful. Back to you, Ashley.
Thank you, Brendan. Everyone give a round of applause to Brendan Murphy. All right. Thank you, Brendan. And the check's in the mail. Don't worry about it, buddy. Oh my God, look who's here. It is Cynthia. Cynthia, may I introduce yourself?
You want me to introduce myself?
No, I'm just kidding.
First of all, is there a timer? Can you raise your hand if we have a timer?
If you give me 1 second, Cynthia, I will be the timer for you.
Ashwin is the official timer of District 101.
Everything with you.
Who is?
Ashwin is the official timer of District 101.
Ah, okay. Okay, can you raise your hand electronically, and then I can see you when I speak.
Cynthia, I'm gonna spotlight you, so you'll see the timer, me, and yourself too. Okay.
Oh, can you raise your hand instead? I really prefer just to raise your hand as electronically, because that puts you at the top right away.
Okay. I raised my hand on here.
Reactions?
There it is. Got it.
Yeah.
There you are.
Yes. Perfect. That's
all
wonderful.
Right. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna spotlight me, and I'm gonna introduce.
So you don't need to spotlight you. Just spotlight me. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's better. And then you're raising your hand. You're going to be at the top for me always. Okay.
All right. Now 18 is green, 20 is yellow, and 22 is red.
Okay. Now are we going to have questions after 22 minutes?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess Cynthia gave a different timings.
Oh.
It is 15 minutes she wanted green. Okay. She wanted to end her speech at 15, and then the rest she wanted to denote to questions. Is it right, Cynthia?
However long you want to give me, I can always fill the time.
No, we'll end it in 22 minutes. So
what's green then?
So 12 to 15 minutes. So 13 minutes at green, 14 minutes yellow, and 15 minutes red. And then we'll go into Q&A, and however long you want to do that, just give me the red when it's done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, Cynthia. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters and non-Toastmasters, DTM Cynthia Scott is an award-winning speaker and the 2015 District 57 Evaluation Champion. For nearly 40 years, she suffered with over 7 phobias, including public speaking and visibility. She was afraid of everything. She went on an audacious journey and has transformed her phobias into her passions. She is now an international speech and confidence coach, focusing on TEDx and becoming a paid professional speaker for her clients. She is globally visibility influencer with over 50,000 followers in 140 plus countries. Put your hands together for Cynthia Scott.
Thank you, Ashwin. Awesome. John F. Kennedy, President John F. Kennedy, said, "The only reason to speak is to change the world." And I believe that with all my heart. You can powerfully speak with your vocal impact. That's how you can really make a difference. And I know Brendan talked about body language and it's king. It's got 55% of what we listen to. I think that's nonsense. 7% of your communication is words. 38% is tone or voice, and 55% is visual. However, if you were building a house, 7% of your house is your foundation. Why would you want to decorate your house if you had a faulty foundation? You need good words. Good content is the foundation of your message and to change the world. Your vocal variety or your vocal impact, they say it's only 38%, but that's really the structure of your house. And your visual is your decoration. It's what you can put on to spice things up. So you want to focus on your content, then build on your vocal variety and your tone, your pitch, and then move to that wonderful body language that Brendan talked about, including your eye contact. I think that's really key. But your voice can indicate your eye contact as well. I'm big on Clubhouse. I've got 8,000 followers and my club has 2,000 members, and it was only established about 6 months ago. And on Clubhouse, you can only speak. You can have a picture of yourself and you can have some words in the chat. You can have some back channel chat in the that paper airplane section, but you're mostly speaking. And that's how you make a change. That's how you make an impact. And if you're doing a speech, I think you should first do it without visuals. So you can have a really solid words that you're telling, that your content is really clear and juicy, and then your vocal variety needs to be clear, and your eye contact can be shown through your voice. Now, I was a bank examiner and I was a reports analyst before that for the Federal Reserve. And I actually found a banker that was cooking the books through my voice, only over the phone. I caught him and sent in the examiners to verify. So a lot can happen with your voice. And it's very important to smile, like Brendan said, but smiling will come through your voice. So even on the phone, smile. Even on the phone, do your postures, your power postures, like Amy Cuddy talks about in her TED Talk, which is the #2 most widely viewed TED Talk in the world. Well, I think it has over 80 million views. It's got some great power postures. Do that before you make your phone calls, because oftentimes that's your first contact with a customer is through a phone call. Now, I want to wake you up. And I want some of you to introduce yourself. Just say your first and last name, and I will share with you how you can change how you say your name to appear more confident. Anybody raise their hand? Oh, Ashvin wants to.
I'll start it off for everybody.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Ashvin Patel.
Yeah. Did you hear his voice went down a little bit? It didn't go Ashvin Patel? Like a question? Then a question makes it sound like you're not confident. So say that again, very confidently, Ashvin.
Hi, my name is Ashvin Patel.
Yeah, all right. How about Maya?
Hi, my name is Maya Talkar.
Yeah. Okay. So a little bit up. So this usually happens for women, especially. We tend to go up with our tone, and that can seem a little like you're not as confident. So try to say it Maya Tucker so that you go down. like a sentence, very strong on the final one. Want to try again?
Yes. Hi, my name is Maya Talkar.
Yeah. How about Maya Talker? Talker. So down, down, So Maya Talker. Not Maya Talker. Can you hear the difference in that? So try that one more time.
My name is Maya Talkar.
Yes, very good. And your voice, the tone of your voice went a little bit down too, more resonant, more in your chest and your diaphragm. That was wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How about Sarika?
Hello, I'm Srika Shamala.
Okay, again, with us women, we tend to go up like Cynthia Stott versus Cynthia Stott. Cynthia Stott. So try to go down. Imagine that you're a conductor and you're a little bit up with your first name and down.
I am Srika Shamala.
Yeah, yes, that was more down. Yeah, more down, and try to fill up your chest a little bit more. And you can do some of these Amy Cuddy postures, which are the Superwoman or the Superman posture with your hand on your hips and opening your chest, broad chest, opening your chest. So your breath can go down into your belly and down into your chest. So try one more time.
I'm Sarika Shamala.
Yeah, you went down that time. Great, great, great.
Thank you.
Excellent. And even when you're speaking and you're asking a question, if you want to appear more confident, if that's what you want to portray, make sure to put your voice down rather than up. You know, some people talk like this, where they're questioning everything they say. They're not sure about what they're saying. Whereas if they go down, they are confident. Did you eat yet? It's a question, but I put it down. So, Natasha, would you like to introduce yourself? Oh, I'm sorry. Chunning.
Yes.
Chunning.
Yeah.
Chunning.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Chun Ming.
Okay. Hello, my name is Chun Ming. Chun Ming. Yeah, more rounded and down at the last one. Okay, want to try one more time?
Hello, my name is Chun Ming.
Yes, better. And you can fill your chest with more breath down into your belly, more breath down into your chest. I always think about, there's an old movie where an actor, I forget what actor it was, but it was called Ben-Hur. And he was a chariot rider, and he would ride his chariot and he would open his chest broadly. So open your chest broadly and then go down on Chun Ming. Chun Ming. Try that.
Okay. Hi. Hello, my name is Chun Ming.
Chun Ming. Yes. And so very confident so that you say the end of that word. Yes, great, Chun Ming. Awesome.
Thank you.
And how about Amanda?
Hello, my name is Amanda. Is it okay?
Amanda. Okay. It's kind of medium. You didn't really go Amanda, but try going down a little more. Amanda. As if you're saying a statement. Hi, my name is Amanda.
My name is Amanda, right?
Yes. And not quite so much bouncing of the head. So that can also portray a lack of confidence. So, hi, my name is Amanda.
Hi, my name is Amanda.
Yes. Much more confident. Great. Harukesh?
Aman, I think.
Aman. Mm-hmm.
Hi, my name is Aman Raj.
Okay, a little bit slower. Okay, again.
Hi, my name is Aman Raj.
My name is Aman Raj. See how it sounds more important? Raj. Right. So a little more importance to it, a little more slowing down, a little more of the voice going down to your belly, down to your chest, and really sit up straight like Ben-Hur. Again, imagine you're driving lions in a chariot. Yes, yes, I can see your face has changed. Your body posture has changed. Now say your name.
Hi, my name is Aman Raj.
Yes, much better and more resonant in your voice. More resonant, less in the upper register, more powerful. Awesome. Awesome. You look much more confident.
Thank you. Thank
Great.
you.
Great. Anyone else? Or anyone else? Rather than going up like a question. Great. So the tone of your voice and the pace of your voice are very important. And pause, their power of the pause. Your pause is your best friend, especially if you have an accent or English is not your first language. Or if you're speaking, you're native English speaker, but you're speaking to non-native English speakers, you really need to pause because there's a time between the ear and the brain. So you have to enunciate your words and you have to pause so the ear can take it in and the brain can process it. Awesome. Awesome. So the pause is so powerful. It's like a frame around an important sentence or an important question. Imagine if you went to the Louvre Museum to see the Mona Lisa. Imagine if she was just crowded on a bunch of pictures sitting down on the floor. No, no. She has an entire wall to herself. She has lights and she has space around her. So the pause is like the frame that goes around your picture. So before you say an important phrase or question, make sure to pause. It can make a huge, huge difference. And the pace of your language and the cadence of your language means like the pattern of the language. Like think about the army when they're marching, they have a nice cadence. They're all marching together. So you want to have your language so you can people can hear you easily and understand you easily and enunciate every syllable. You may notice that I enunciate very well. It may be easier for you to understand my English than some other people's English, but I grew up with people that are hard of hearing. And so I learned to enunciate my words when I talked with them. It's very, very important. And you want to be able to talk faster and then slow down. But even if you talk fast, make sure to enunciate. Listen to me as I read the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. You can vary your language, your words, and emphasize different words in your sentence. And slow your pace to make it very, very powerful. Also, you loud and soft. So especially if you're doing well, I would say even in business, if you're giving a presentation, if you want to wake people up, give a loud boom and make a soft sound. So use your tone of your voice, the going up or down at the end of a sentence, especially for your name, can indicate confidence a whole lot more. And power of the pause. You want to make sure that you let them hear your powerful sentence or your powerful question. So pause before and after. And we didn't talk about vocal variety, including character languages. So you want to have dialogue, you're not going to narrate what somebody says. Have dialogue. Let your father speak in his father's voice, or your friend speak in her Southern drawl. So you want to vary how you're talking to indicate that you have different characters in your story. So now it's time for your questions. And if you can raise your hand, we can see you right away.
Questions?
And how long do we have for questions, Ashwin?
7 minutes, Cynthia.
7 minutes. All right.
All right. All right. Don't be
Any
shy.
questions?
Use your vocal variety to ask a question.
Yay!
And you get from my
Woohoo!
It was a great learning. How do you keep tab on your tone? How do you do that?
Your tone. One way is to record yourself. Listen to how you sound. So record yourself. So tone can also indicate emotions. One of my clients is giving a speech on abuse, child abuse, and she wants to inspire the audience that if they see something, they say something. But she was allowing her tone to sound like she was angry with the audience. So they were just tuning her out. And they weren't inspired and wanting to come with her. So inspiring, you might use a whisper language, a quiet language, and also a loud language. So you're going to vary it with soft and loud to inspire. Okay, but the recorder is your friend. Absolutely.
Yes.
Listen
Thank
to
you
what
so
you
much.
sound like.
Thank you.
And practice your introducing yourself, saying your name. See if you're going up or if you're coming down. Great. Any other questions? Yes. Sharika.
Cynthia, you just said about the story that you were talking about. What kind of a voice would you use or tone would you use when describing a hard part of the story? Where say she was bullied by the abuser was abused. She was saying some pieces of the abuse. How would you describe it?
It depends upon what you wanted to evoke in the emotions. Now, Cicero is known as the ancient Greek orator, and he's the most known as the best orator in all of history. And he's always said that you, as a speaker, are helping people to feel the emotions. So you have to feel the emotion so that they can feel the emotion. So if it is bullying, maybe it would be a loud voice because they're yelling at you. What do you think you're doing? Right? But then if you say, I want you to stop now, that tone can be loud, but it's softer than a shrieking, angry voice. It's a more commanding voice. And making sure that, again, that you bring that breath down to your belly, down, feeling your chest and down to your belly. A commanding voice. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense. For a action or something you want to stop, you say loudly. But for a fear, you go, you press.
Yes, you shriek, and your voice might quiver.
Quiver. Okay. Thank
Right.
you.
Quiver. Yes. When I used to be terrified of public speaking, my lip would do that quivery thing, right? You have a quiver, and I couldn't get my words out of my mouth. It was tight, and it wouldn't come out. So it may be a small voice, or it could even be a loud shriek. Stop that! Stop that! That's different than stop that.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's almost like you're doing acting class, right, Cynthia?
Yeah, because you have to feel the emotion and allow that to come out of your mouth. And then they will feel your emotion.
Are there
Any
any
other questions?
exercises? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Yes.
Are there any exercises you recommend, like reading books or something, or tongue
Oh,
twisters?
reading.
Or
Well, warming up your voice is important. And I have a really funny exercise. You may not, would do this like in the car on the way over, or run into the bathroom and do it in the stall so nobody can see you. But I would call it the helicopter voice. So you want to open your vocal varieties, warm them up. I was an opera singer in college, and you want to warm that up. And one of the ways that you can do that is by blowing on your lips. It looks really silly, I know, but because you're having a hum come out, and you're moving your lips, which is moving your vocal cords, warming you up. And then if you add a scale to that, so that you can add the scale of the hum to open your voice. It's very similar to warming up your voice to sing. So, yeah, and you can feel your lips are vibrating. If you a lot, you're going to feel the vibration, but it's opening up your tongue and your soft palate, really opening up your throat. Also breathing. So breathing in and out, breathing in and out. You can sigh out if you take 3 strong breaths. And if you combine that for overcoming fear, I was a scaredy cat. I was afraid of everything. So I use techniques to calm myself and ground myself and make me not afraid. And one of my friends was a part of a study on fear and the brain. And she was put into one of those CT scans, those computer tomography or something. It's those big medical machines that they slide you in and slide you out, and that can be a little claustrophobic. So at first, maybe you're a little afraid, but they took a picture of her brain when she was relaxed, and then they showed her scary pictures. I don't know what they showed her, but they showed her scary pictures, and they watched her brain change. And then they asked her to do what you can do when you're afraid. You can wiggle your toes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your toes, breathe in and out, and then focus on your feet. Put your mind at your feet, breathe in and out, and wiggle your toes. And then you will remember what you were supposed to say, or you'll come up with something better to say, or you'll overcome your fear or your difficult discussion with someone, so that you can be confident when you speak. Back to you, Ashbin.
thank you, Cynthia. We enjoyed your vocal variety session so much. Thank you so much. Everyone give a round of applause to Cynthia. Thank you. Raghu, what's next? We are going into breakout rooms.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
This is your final session, so congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for being here, Cynthia. I'll
Yeah.
stop
My
recording.
pleasure.